Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM. Before we get to our wonderful guests this morning, in Viewpoint fashion, we do a kudos. And a kudos to our first responders who do not have the luxury to put on a tank top and shorts and respond to a fire or respond to an emergency call, because they have to wear all that heavy gear. And in this heat, thank you so much. We appreciate what you do. We know it's a thankless job, and be safe out there, and thank you for looking out for us and protecting us. Today our guest is Gail's Pumpkin Patch. We have Dave and Gail Sasse with us from rural Beeson. I call it one of Logan County's wonderful gems we have of agritourism, and thank you so much for coming, you guys. Greatly appreciate it. So
you're welcome. Well, thank you for having us. This is a great opportunity for us to help promote our pumpkin patch.
So how long have you guys been in business?
We've been in business for 18 seasons, so we never thought it would last this long, but it has. People have supported us, and they continue to come out and have lots of fun.
How many acres? How big is the pumpkin patch actually? Or what did you start with, just an acre pumpkin patch and then have grown, or?
Yeah, I think the first year we had like an acre and a half. And yeah, it's just grown from there, and to where I'm basically retired. My son's taken over the farming part of the operation, but I take care of the pumpkin patch and the apple trees, and so yeah, it's just grown to where I have to be there too.
Now, you said apple trees. Do you guys make your own cider then, or not? Or
no, there's too many regulations there. We don't have that many apple trees. We got enough to supply the market there at the store. But there's too many regulations on that.
It's a huge undertaking too, as well.
And we got a wonderful guy from Southern Illinois who makes. We've sold his cider every year that the pumpkin patch has been open. So. And
I enjoy coming out and getting the cider from you guys.
Yeah, the cider is good, and so are the slushies. That's my number one favorite. I can't wait till the slushie machine starts up.
So when does the slushie machine
hopefully
get to start?
September 2nd, because the first he's making the cider, and then we're going to pick it up Saturday morning, and then hopefully the machine has been all refurbished and ready to go. His apples are just about a week late, he said. He makes a good cider because he mixes lots of different varieties of apples, and that gives you a much sweeter, better flavor.
It is a sweeter cider from what I find.
There's nothing added. Nothing added. It's ultraviolet pasteurization, so it doesn't affect the flavor, and it's very good.
Oh, wonderful. So when do you guys officially open then for people to come out and start getting pumpkins from you and shop?
We open September 1st at noon.
Okay.
So.
Do you usually have a good, running of a crowd of people knocking down the door?
Yes, we have our favorite people that come every year. They want to be the first in line. I'd say Darlene is probably the one that always comes first, and she's always there for the cookies and the slushies and wants to get that first pumpkin on her porch. And we're also famous for our stacks, where we stack a lot of pumpkins, different flat varieties up, and she wants to have that. So I'll put a plug in for her if she's listening today.
I know your stacks are a neat creation you guys are doing. So anyway, but so getting back, so how many acres do you have now? Then you said of pumpkins?
We got 8 acres of pumpkins.
8 acres.
Out there. Yeah, that's what we planted.
So for somebody driving down Interstate, 155. I do know the difference, and somebody says, oh, there's, a pumpkin patch there. That's a little bit different, isn't it, from what you have, correct? Because I believe those pumpkins are being grown for Libby's for pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice, correct?
Yes,
different
that's right.
varieties. So
yeah, we have over 60 varieties of pumpkins and gourds and squash, but we also grow the Libby's variety pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
It's under a different name. It's a Dickinson Field pumpkin. So we have folks that come out and cut the pumpkin up, make their own pumpkin pie. I have my own pumpkin pie recipe, and you make the pie in a blender. Very tasty. Those ripen a little later in the season. Our pumpkins are planted so that some of them ripen in 85 days, some ripen 90, 95, all the way to 120 days. So that way there's always a new pumpkin variety coming on. Hopefully you can find the kind that you like for your needs.
Well, I learned something new. I didn't realize you guys grew that, a Libby's variety, so you can actually go and the baking, the cooking type of pumpkin to,
Right.
if you wanted to. That is neat. That's wonderful. So, the $1 million question, as we all know, we've had a drought and missed those good rain chances and everything. Has it pushed the pumpkin picking back a little bit for people to come out, or how has it affected the crop? How's everything looking for you? How has this drought affected you guys?
Well, we plant at the end of May is when we plant, and as we all know, it was very dry then. We planted the pumpkins deeper than normal, and it still didn't work out right that we had pumpkins all coming up at the same time.
Oh.
So we had, quite a few come up, but still there was some that came up 6 weeks later after we had that rain, But we got a good crop. We were out there and picked some the other day, and we got a good crop coming on. They're just a little bit later, but we still found orange pumpkins out there. And the stacking pumpkins are there. Gourds, I was amazed at how many gourds we found.
Really?
We got a real good crop of gourds. We switched some varieties around and are very happy with the way they're turning out. So,
that's wonderful. I was worried because this last big rain we had, that was almost a saving grace for a lot of people. I know our pasture was burning up, and we kept saying, if we do not get that big rain, we're going to be done for. And and even they were saying even some of the corn crop, the corn crop was really taking on a stress there. And that last rain we had, at the end of July, first week in August, really was a good saving. So I wasn't sure how that affected your guys' crop, with the pumpkins.
Well, pumpkins do well in dry weather, if we can get them up. If we can't get them up, then that's the problem.
That's the problem there.
But no, they thrive in dry weather. You don't have the diseases attacking them and everything. So they do very well in dry weather.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We were happy they came up, even though they were in the ground that long. We really weren't sure. If the mice are bad on pumpkin patches, they like to eat the seeds. But luckily we have a new batch of kittens. So we'll have kittens to play with. We always have cats. We have our old favorites that are always there, and then we've got some new kittens.
Some pumpkin patch kittens.
Oh, that's the number one thing at the place is everyone comes to see the kittens. We've got various sizes of kittens, various colors, and they're usually always fun.
Well, does someone get to, adopt a kitten if they want to from the pumpkin patch?
Yes, that is a possibility. We can't keep all of those cats. We have a nice assortment of cats on the farm because they're good for all the mice.
Right.
And they're good companions for Dave and I. But we'll have a few at the end of the season to find a good home for.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. So, speaking of kids and kittens, you guys, I do know, have some schools that come out for tours and field trips about that.
Yes, we have field trips for senior citizens, kids, 4-H groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, youth groups from different churches come out, and they have a fun time. But they do have to have reservations to make an appointment with a time and a schedule because our schedule fills up pretty fast.
So they just call out there to call you guys and say we need to set a time and do all of that.
Hopefully something's available.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Well, if it's okay with Jim, I think we got some bills to pay here, so play a few commercials to our wonderful advertisers. And Mabel's helping actually on the board there, speaking of cats. And so we will take a quick time out here, and we will be back with Gail and Dave Sasse of Gail's Pumpkin Patch. Hi, welcome back to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM. Our guest today is Gail and Dave Sasse from rural Beeson of Gail's Pumpkin Patch. If you have any questions for them, pumpkin questions, pumpkin recipes, I'm putting Gail on the spot, I know. You can call in to 217-648-5510. I did get some questions for you guys. One of them was, what is the biggest pumpkin you've grown?
521 pounds.
Wow.
That was 3 years ago?
Several years ago.
Yeah. And
There's the Illinois Giant Pumpkin Association. The gentleman from DeWitt, Illinois, that actually does this association, he gave us some seeds. He wanted us to give it a try because he came and displayed his pumpkin that had won the state of Illinois. So we did go to a contest up in northern Illinois one year, and we did get third place
Oh, my
for
goodness.
the first year growers. There were huge pumpkins there. I think the gentleman that won the pumpkin was like 1,200 pounds. It's like, they're huge. They bring him in on pallets and trailers.
I bet.
But it was a fun day for us. We met a lot of nice people that grow pumpkins and traded ideas. People in the pumpkin patch business tend to have meetings and trade ideas a lot.
Oh, neat.
Illinois Specialty Growers, we belong to that group, and they meet in January each year, and we exchange ideas.
That is wonderful. So if someone says, I guess I can pick on myself, and I know there's some other business people, in Logan County and surrounding counties that say, hey, I need a statement piece pumpkin. I need that big pumpkin. Are you guys blessed this year with those big pumpkins for us that are crazy about big pumpkins or not?
Yeah, we got several. It's a variety called Prize Winner, and then we also have Polar Bear, and they're probably running, anywhere from 75 to 150 pounds. So
wow.
those are pretty good sized. I do have some giant pumpkins out there that are probably over 200 pounds right now.
Oh, neat. Now, are those be about ready to come pick up right at September 1st? Or are those about a week behind still, maybe, or not? Or what do you think?
I think they're probably a little bit later on. They have to mature. Dave mentioned the Polar Bear. That's a big white pumpkin, which is a neat one.
Oh, neat.
And then the prize winners, of course, are the orange, a little lighter orange. But they're almost there. Again, you might want to come out and check out the pumpkins because you pick and we pick. We have either choice that you can do. We have wagons and we have clippers. And our patch this year is right behind the shed, so it's close by. And there's 8 acres to pick from, and there's a good variety.
So what do you recommend if someone does want to come out for that big, gigantic pumpkin? What do you recommend for them to do? Not just, come out in their old Ford station wagon and say, load it up, So what
We've
do you...
done that before.
What do you recommend then?
Well, we help you get it loaded up.
If they have a pallet, possibly, would that be better if they did
if
put it
you
on
have
a
a
pallet?
way of unloading it when you get home.
True.
With a pallet.
So you don't get to come along and help unload it then, right, Dave?
No.
We have some really strong high school, college boys that work for us, and they take bets on who can actually lift that pumpkin. And once they get in the car, they're glad it's in the car.
So if we could put it on a pallet, possibly, and then
Yeah.
so when somebody does get home, it's easier to unload for them. And so you do have people that come out there with maybe like a car trailer or something
Yeah.
and load it up then. So.
Yeah, it's fun. It's always a big event. Oh, somebody's going to buy that big pumpkin.
And you guys are taking bets on who and where.
Who's
so.
going to unload it and put it in the car?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's always fun time. We
Oh.
like to get those pumpkins out in the community for decorations.
So speaking of community, I see you brought in some notes there. You got some community announcements and involvements there.
Yes, we have a Fall Farm Day. That is Sunday, September 17th. It'll be from noon to 5. It's always a fun day. Nuthatch Barbecue comes and serves meals for purchase. And then we have special music from Jeff Corres. And then we also have free popcorn rides out to the field. We grow a special type of popcorn where you take the whole ear and then you put it in a brown bag, take the brown bag, put it into the microwave, press the buttons, and out comes a whole bag of popcorn that's popped off the ear. All that's left is a few kernels on the ear, and it's very tasty, and it's very popular at the pumpkin patch.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've seen that, so that is neat. That's neat. What else new do you guys have there for us at the pumpkin patch?
New this year, we've always added more games. We have tetherball. That's kind of an old game that we're trying to revive. We also are doing a puppet fun area. We'll have puppets, and Dave built kind of like a puppet stage that kids can play inside. Because not only do we need things inside the shed, we also need things outside. Because it does rain, and people still come to the pumpkin patch even if it rains or the sun is shining. So we offer a little bit of both. We have our roller slide that's been popular for years and years. Then we have our hillbilly basketball, which is like a 50-bushel wagon that you shoot baskets into. We have goats and chickens and rabbits, of course, our kittens and cats. Gourd bowling, adult tricycles, rope the bull, a little play shed. There's a good variety. Of course, we do have free admission. It only costs to actually ride the barrel train ride. So we
You guys
offer
have a lot
of fun
packed
things for people
family.
to do, all family oriented.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun to watch families come out there. They actually interact. With the phones and everything that people have nowadays, they set those down.
Put technology down and just actually enjoy.
Right.
Take a lot of pictures. I'd say we do a lot of photo pictures for folks. We're always happy to take their picture in front of the sign or whatever they're doing. And then the grandmas and grandpas come too, so it's multi-generational, which was good to see.
Well, I guess the word that we've used before in the industry is ag tourism. And, you guys are a great destination for ag tourism. I mean, that's
it is
wonderful.
fun. We get people from northern Chicago. We get them from St. Louis. They meet because, we're
Wonderful.
the Geo Center. Chestnut, Illinois is a Geo Center, and we're not far from there. We get from the east and the west also, but we get a lot of people that meet in the center of the state.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a book where people sign in if they want to, and we got them from all over the United States, and we've had them from, even some from Australia, China.
Oh my goodness.
They come and visit people in Logan County, and
then they bring them there.
out.
That is neat.
Yeah.
That is neat.
So.
And of course, we have all the locals, like you said. I forgot the gal's name, the first one in line.
Darlene.
Darlene.
Yeah.
We have Darlene there. So anyway, but then you've got others. So.
Right. We also have mums, and we have donuts and baked goods and cookies and cinnamon rolls, and those are made by all local people within the area here that do their specialty. And normally, if Dave and I taste them and we like them, then we'll buy them. So everything we sell is because we like the flavor.
Right.
Our Amish jams and jellies, we like our apple butters. Pumpkin butter is kind of a neat thing to buy. It's kind of tastes like pumpkin pie filling, only it's a pumpkin butter. We have beets, of course. That's Dave's favorite. He likes the beets.
Pickled beets are really good.
Pickle beets is very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it has to go past Dave's taste test first, I take it. So before, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because he likes certain things, I like certain things, but we always taste everything before we actually put it on the shelves to actually sell it. So,
Now,
and of course, we have our son's
crafts too. In
Yes,
there,
we
don't
do
you?
have crafts, and that's all local crafters, all from the area. And then we have our son Nathan's Honey, and our daughter does some baked goods and also some mixes, brownie
wonderful.
mixes and cookie mixes.
Yeah.
So, and Dave's mom, I got to put a plug in for her. She's Lorraine. She's 92, and she comes out and helps us. Her specialty is the apples,
Oh, neat.
and she gets to see a lot of folks every year. They always ask where Lorraine is at.
What variety of apples do you guys have there?
Well, right now we got what we call an applesauce apple. I bought it as a Red Delicious tree, and it didn't turn out to be a Red Delicious tree, but it makes wonderful applesauce, and they're early. So we've already picked several of those, and we're picking Gala right now.
Okay.
And then we'll have Jonathan's Honey Crisp, then also the Fuji, and we got another tree called a Blushing Golden that they think everybody says is better than a Honey Crisp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for an eating apple, it's just wonderful. And I don't remember if I said Jonathan or not, but we do have Jonathan. And then an Arkansas Black, which is a real late apple, so we won't have those till the very end of the pumpkin patch there. But they keep, well, she still made an apple crisp here in July, I think it was, from the apples from last year. They stayed that long in the...
So how did you store them
Just
then?
in the refrigerator.
Just in the refrigerator then? You did like in your crisper?
In a bag, and in a plastic bag. Usually that helps retain some of the moisture.
Okay.
But the Arkansas Black is kind of like got an oil film on the skin to kind of keep the moisture inside. And I make an apple crisp, and we were really surprised that we could still do that yet in July.
Because I thought the Fujis were supposed to be your longevity.
They are. They last a long time.
But this even actually kind of beats the Fujis out, then it sounds
right, but
like.
this apple isn't really an eating apple. I like to cook with it.
It's a cooking apple then.
Baking.
Or baking, yes.
You tried to eat it in the fall, and you better dice it up. It's that hard.
You'll lose your false teeth. It's very hard. It's got an oil film on the skin, too. So some people kind of aren't sure of what we're selling, but it will work for later on.
So do you have signs up for people kind of say, I'm sure you do, but this apple is more, this, is for your baking apple, and this apple is, you should do this, and,
We
Yeah.
try.
a 411, I guess
try.
you could say, crash
Right.
course for people who aren't
We
apple
try.
connoisseurs.
I guess they always really like to talk to one of us to like reaffirm.
Yeah.
Now I want to make a pie. Which apple would you recommend? And I would say I'd recommend a Jonathan. Or I really want a good eating apple, and right now I would eat a Gala.
Yeah.
And then later on, my other favorite is a Fuji.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on what you want, but we try to keep everyone informed on what's in season, because once they're sold out, they're sold out. We don't buy them from any place else. They're strictly from our farm.
From
We
your farm
strictly
only.
pick them and wash them and put them in the bag, and they're yours.
Oh, wonderful. So strictly homegrown right
They
there
are,
on
right.
the farm,
Right.
and
Right.
nothing
Yep.
outsourced.
Because that's true of our Indian corn, our popcorn, pumpkins. It's grown on our farm, and when we run out, we run out.
Right, right. Well, if somebody wants to come for a tour, what number do they call, or how do they get in touch with you? What do you recommend?
We have a website, which is www.gailspumpkinpatch.com. Our phone number is 217-447-3409. We're also on Facebook. We try to put weekly updates on Facebook on what we're picking, what we're doing, what's going to be happening, or if we got a new batch of mums in, and sometimes we run a special on our mums, or if we've got a new batch of whatever it is we're selling, we try to put that on Facebook.
Wonderful. So they can just pop in and shop, but like you said too, you do recommend if they do want to, a daycare tour or a senior citizen tour or something, do make an appointment with you guys.
Because it's usually Dave and I that give the tours. Once in a while, his mom will help us. So we try to, it's what Dave and I can handle.
Well, sounds good. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out to, we call it the radio ranch out here between the cornfield and the bean field and the hay field out here in rural Atlanta. And thank you so much. And to all of our listeners, if you have not been to Gail's Pumpkin Patch in rural Beeson, you do not know what you're missing. It's wonderful. I love coming out there and visiting with you guys and shopping too. So thank you for being guests on Viewpoint.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. We appreciate it.
Thanks.